Hey guys, welcome to Flat Top King. Hey, today is all about Smashburger mistakes. How can you make a better Smashburger? Watch this. Here's the idea, right? A lot of people are getting new griddles at this time of the year, right? Griddles are getting sold like crazy. One of the first things that you want to try is a famous Smashburger. Infamous Smashburger. But there's some mistakes that I've seen people make, and they keep reaching out, say, hey, my Smashburger did this. Hey, my Smashburger did that. So we made a video with my wife, Smashburgers for beginners, right? And we gave you 5 tips to be a better Smashburger. Burger maker, there we go. But today is all about the common mistakes that we see happening regularly. So we're going to try to replicate those mistakes and give you guys ways to fix them. Coming at you at number 1. Because you put them on the griddle when the griddle's too cold, right? You want that instant sear factor, that heat. So that's what we're going to replicate right now. All right, here we go. I've got common 80-20 ground beef, okay? Little side tip, little side note. If you just got your griddle and you're just starting this journey, you might not have all the tools and accessories and all the gadgets that you can have. There are a plethora. Whew, I love using that word when it's used correctly. A standard 1/3 cup measuring cup is going to get you extremely close without having to worry about measuring out your ground beef balls to size, okay? So that's what we're going to do right now. How do I know if my griddle's even hot enough? That's a whole different video in itself, okay? What I'm going to try to show you, if you don't have an infrared thermometer, is the way your meat reacts by using common ingredients that you already have, okay? You don't have to have every single tool of the trade the very first day you get your griddle. Now that you got all your balls measured out, just ignore this one. Obviously, you can see the size of that. We're going to get to that one later. Just try to roll them out loosely pack, right? You don't want to overpack them too much because you want that lace effect. The harder you pack them, the tighter your beef is going to be, and the more or less tender that your ground beef is going to be. Mistake number 1, your griddle's not hot enough. You're not used to it. You're not used to how much BTUs, how much force it takes to heat up your griddle, whether it be a 1, 2, 3, 4, or even 6 burner, right? So mistake number 1. Mistake number 1 is not having your griddle hot enough. What happens is it's going to take a lot longer, and we just mentioned this, a lot of things circle each other back, right? It's going to take a lot longer for your crust to build. If it takes that long, then you're overcooking your burger. These burgers are fast and quick, okay? You want to make sure that your griddle is heated up or heated appropriately to handle the coldness of the burger. All right, now that your burger's cooked about 50% the way through, which is this traditional standard burger philosophy, we're going to flip it. Now, for the newbies out there, you notice how there's really no dark color? Now the burger's moist, so you guys can see it right there. That is a lot of moisture left in the burgers. When they say you cannot get a juicy smash burger, it's just not true, okay? All right, but there's no color, there's no Maillard reaction, and that is what everybody craves when they're talking about a burger, okay? All right, just to recap, you guys can see the difference. Keep this in your back pocket, what it looks like, okay? See how just grayish it is? Just keep that in mind as we keep cooking. So this is your griddle being too cold, not hot enough. Number 2 on the list, the proper technique is kind of like, it's not a scientific technique, but it's definitely out there. The idea of smashing and holding your burger on the griddle, all areas to get that great contact that you need to create the Maillard reaction, okay? So what we're going to do is put on the griddle, we're going to smash it and leave it right away, okay?
So we are making the mistakes.
Absolutely.
On purpose.
Yes. One thing too I see a lot of people doing, you notice how we have our lip here? Okay? People smash it, but they're not rocking it back and forth down. When you do that, you're going to have uneven lips depending on how wide your meat press is or your spatula, okay? So not only is it not holding it, it's not rotating it around to make sure you have even smashage. Even
Smashage.
smashage. That's
Smashage.
a culinary term of the day. All right, you see how we're lacy inside? That's a telltale sign. We're going to flip. See how we don't have even coverage? So you're so close that it could be a little bit better, right? Now you start seeing the darkening that we're talking about when you're talking about smash burgers. That's one. Two, since we didn't get the even smash burger to begin with, you notice how our burger's a little bit rawer up here? That's not necessarily a problem, but it's not perfect. When you're talking about the perfect smash burger for beginners, it's the little things that matter. Number 3 on the list, flipping too soon, not allowing that reaction to happen, okay? You've done everything right so far. You've got your correct measurements, you've got your correct temperature on the griddle, you're gonna smash it correctly. But what if you're in a rush or you're not confident and you're scared that you're gonna overcook it, okay? I'm gonna have a link in the description with these if you guys are serious about making your burgers. We've had our griddle for 2 years, and ever since then, I've just used the long sheet of parchment paper and had to cut out in triangles or squares or circles myself. We found these little doohickeys online, and they have been incredible. Definitely takes the guesswork out of it. All right, you ready? We're gonna smash it the right way, work around with it, right? Even. Once we get it to where we like it, we're gonna hold it for 10 seconds.
And then we're going to flip it too soon.
Yes. You guys ready? See the difference? See how we don't have that deep golden brown all the way across? Because we're too worried about letting the burger do what it's supposed to do. You got to let the burger fry in its juices. That's what makes the smash burger, okay? You can have a smash burger without the Maillard reaction. But once you conquer this method and taste the difference of what it makes, do you believe it makes a difference?
Yes.
Way to really hammer that home.
I love smash burgers. Made by you, not made by me. There is a big difference.
Number 4, the correct way could be many different ways. I'm not saying my way is the perfect way, but there is a rhyme reason to the madness, right? You have to get the crust off the griddle. You cannot assume that just because you've done the perfect flat top seasoning, the perfect griddle seasoning, that your spatula is not going to do the job itself. You have to help it, which is why we love these spatulas. Okay. Press hold. 10 seconds, even press. We're doing everything right, okay? I would say right now we're shooting low 400s, okay? Maybe middle 400s. These burgers do not take long to cook. We have not stopped filming, and notice how we're already starting to get browning. You want to go just a little bit longer, right? It hasn't been on the flat top that long. And this is what happens. That burger is adhered itself to the griddle, okay? Even though there's a lot of grease, it's pushing the grease out. What you want to do is come in on a side motion, okay? And you want to be able to get in that angle that doesn't hurt your flat top, but also helps the crust off the griddle, okay?
So are you going to do it wrong to show them?
Yes.
Okay.
What you don't want to do is come at it like this. See the difference? Okay. We can still get that off the griddle with correct technique of your spatula. That's why, if you guys will notice in a lot of my videos, we have best griddle spatula, we have the spatula's length, we have everything you need to do to be a better griddler faster than most. It's because the spatula that you use, okay? See how I'm digging the crust up? Now you can see head to head the difference in the color that you look for, okay? That's important. That color is what it's all about. Number 5 on the list, overcooking your burger. It's easy to do. We just talked about the difference between having a juicy burger because you smashed it, or like my wife did with her 5 Smashburger
for beginners. We threw my Smashburger in the yard. It was way overcooked.
Right, but I let her do her thing, right? I want to see how she reacts, so we're going to simulate that right now and show you guys what to look for when you're making your Smashburger. Why this was going, I would just like to make a public announcement. When you're new to the Smashburger game or the Griddle game completely, okay? The speed of these things, for most people, is super fast. You have to have your prep work done. You got to have a game plan of if you want your buns toasted, what kind of condiments do you want? Are you feeding a large group of people? Are you going to have them come through line? There's a lot of things that go into it. A Smashburger is thin. You've got a small window to create the greatest burger of all time, okay? Because the longer it does sit, the longer it's going to dry out. Like any meat, right? But you have a smaller window because your burger's so thin. When you're new to it, don't be scared to come out. Don't have 40 people over and expect to make Smashburger heaven on your first try, okay? Once you have your griddle ready and you're ready yourself, try one burger at a time. Not a double Smashburger, nothing. You can have it and save it for ground beef. You can do it for spaghetti. You can eat it on the side. We haven't even talked about seasoning. What you want to do is put your burger on there. You want to naturally feel what it's like to smash the burger, because that's very important. Once you get that, you're going to notice how long it takes, how hard to press, because you'll be amazed how many people just take something and they'll smash it right through the flat top, or they won't smash enough because they're scared that they have a dry burger, right? One burger at a time until you feel comfortable.
Practice.
Right.
Practice makes perfect.
All that has made this burger extremely overcooked, which is what happened to my wife, right?
Yes.
It happens extremely fast, okay? So we're going to flip it. We're going to get that crust off, right? So let's think about the beginning. The griddle's hot enough. We smash it to our liking. We're getting the crust off, but we let it cook too long. Now you're starting to see in that crust, right? Now you're venturing into the part of an overcooked burger. You've done everything right until this point. You just didn't do it fast enough.
Flipping it. You didn't flip it fast enough.
Right.
Which is what happened to me. And it was very dry.
Most people aren't going to know it the first time. We've got tons of feedback after we did the Smashburgers for beginners, especially when you did it.
Yeah.
That said, thank you so much for putting it in a different perspective. Me behind the camera, you here, so we can see what it's like for beginner. And I think that was key to resonate with a lot of people. Number 6, too large of a patty. I know it's easy to think that like you want the biggest patty, you want it to be meaty and juicy. Just like when you season your griddle, you're going to hear it often. Thinner coats of oil are better than thicker coats, okay? The perfect patty thickness is thinner than most when it comes to a Smashburger. So what you want to create is 2 patties if you want a bigger patty or a bigger burger than 1 patty, okay? 2 smaller ones versus 1 big one. To smash it correctly, your burger just gets too big, or it's too thick. And to do a Smashburger, it's not the correct, I wouldn't say correct, it's not the most appetitable.
Optimal. It's not the optimal.
Thank you.
So this is too big.
Yes.
Mistake number 7.
This is basically 2/3.
Or 6. Mistake
What?
6.
Which one are we on?
Number
78?
6.
That's what they
78.
feel like. Thanks for staying with me this far, okay? This is a 6-inch parchment paper round, okay? Just to show you guys, I've been using the same one since we started. if you think of the idea of a standard burger, unless you got one of those big old burger buns, your burger's just too big. You notice how big that is? I mean, you can't pick that up. I mean, everybody'd want to, but that's not the realization of the actual burger bun size that you get at the grocery store, right?
Do we have a bun to show comparison?
No, today I'm doing something old school. I've been wanting to do it for a long time, so I hope the people that stayed with me this whole time like it. It's a play off of it. Now, your burger can react the same, right? You can smash it, you can hold it, you can get it off the griddle, and you can flip it faster. Notice how not everything is completely well done. We still got some nice medium rare in there, some nice red. That's a telltale sign to flip it, right? Notice the lace, that's good. That's a good burger right there.
But it's just too big.
Just too big, right? There's not a lot of many buns that can hold it, okay? Now that we've talked about all the mistakes that are common that we see that you could be making, let's make one right, okay? I'm gonna throw a little twist in it today just because I feel like it's about that time for me. We are using white bread. Whoo, when I grew up, let me tell you something. When I grew up, this bad boy is a hot dog bun, a hamburger bun, a sandwich. We'd put butter over it and have it with any type of country dinner. That was our dinner roll. When my grandmother would make fried chicken and we didn't have anything else like biscuits or anything, cut this bad boy up. You have biscuits and gravy, or we call it toast and gravy. To be honest with you, we didn't even toast it. We just ripped it up. The world's greatest invention, sliced bread. I'm gonna put it on the griddle to start toasting because that's what we're using today. You use a hamburger bun, of course. Bring it back at old school. We've got our two favorite seasonings. I think this combination on beef right now is probably my go-to, would you say?
Yeah.
And we tasted a bunch of them, but these two together, and we will have the description and links below, are probably the best combination 1-2 punch I've found in cooking. Okay, that's one. We got a little yellow mustard, which there's not much in there. I hope we get some out. And a little mayonnaise. Lightly toasted one side. Just move that off the heat because then the other side we're going to dab in that beef fat that comes off on the flat top. Whew. All right, let's go. Plenty of space when you smash, okay? You got to remember, you're looking at about a 6-inch burger. Plenty of space. When you're doing your burgers and you're doing multiple burgers at a time, once you get them done, allow your flat top to come back up to temperature, okay? We talk about that in a ton of videos. Your smash burgers are so thin, typically it only takes one side
of seasoning.
Woo, it's a little too much. We have our cheese ready in hand. We're still medium rare on top. You got to dig for that crust. And there it is. All that dark, even color. Edge to edge. Same thing over here. Same thing. Edge to edge coverage. All that browning. Take the other side of those buns. Get them toasted in that grease. I will tell you, at the speed that I'm comfortable with to making the best product possible, it would be extremely hard for me on a 36-inch griddle to do more than 4 smash burgers at a time. The pace of it really happens, and you want to be able to create a great burger, okay? Just move it off the side of here. You're going to learn your cool and hot zones. One side's going to get mayonnaise for us. See how much extra grease come off of us right there? Right on top. Throw on some pickles because that's what we like. All right, guys, there you go. Super easy, quick. We learned a lot. I've been craving that white bread type of burger because I use what I like, but it's the method behind the madness that helps create the best smash burger. Using the ingredients that you like, but just learn little techniques here and there to help you become a better smash burglar. I like that. Burglar. Hamburglar. Smash burglar. Cut that bad boy. Whew. Look at all that dang juice in there. When they say you can't have a juicy smash burger. Look, it dripping out of my dang fingers. That's grease. That is phenomenal.
Give me a bite. Now that you've made 7 burgers wrong. Oh, man.
I mean, that is a gorgeous bite.
That is perfect.
That's everything you want in a burger. Even what do you think about the bread? You thought it was nuts.
I actually like the bread.
It's about making what you like, right? It brings back memories. Matter of fact, the bread's not bad. Sometimes good bread's better than bad hamburger buns. If you guys are interested, we have a join button down below. It's a membership program. It's where you guys can help out the channel. And we appreciate each and every one of you for doing so. Check us out on the Griddle group on Facebook. It's where we talk about griddles, talk about food. A lot of new people come on and say, hey, I've got this problem. I've got this idea. And so many of us chime in to help you guys out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share it with your friends. Peace. Time to eat. God, here, I'll let you have that one bite.
Golly, it's so pretty. God, it's so tasty too.
That's a good burger. That's what you call a smash burger done right. I'd eat that any day of the week.